here's something that might be of interest to anybody that's a fan of the MCU. Big news recently. Marvel abandoned Spider-Man films in dispute with Sony again.
Fuck, dude.
So the successful partnership between Disney's Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures on the Spider-Man films has come to an end. Marvel has bailed out on the arrangement in a dispute over financing for future films, an insider told The Wrap. So the arrangement had been beneficial to both parties. Spider-Man Far From Home, released last month, is the most successful Sony film and the most successful Spider-Man film in terms of box office. So say what you want about the Spider-Man films. It looks like people were actually starting to like what Marvel was doing with the character. They liked Tom Holland's interpretation of it. They wanted to see more of that. And they can all go suck an egg now because it's fucking done. No more Spider-Man for you.
Oh, my God, it's going back to fucking Sony, dude. Oh,
yeah.
Spider-Man is so fucked,
Tobey
dude.
Maguire has got to be ready, dude. He's got to be ready to be asked.
Hey, guys, remember me? Remember me,
it's
guys?
me. I'm the Sony Spider-Man.
Oh, God, they fucking... What was the other... They tried Andrew Garfield or something? They tried him.
Andrew Garfield.
He was miserable in the role. Tobey Maguire was probably easily the worst.
Yes.
It's just like, fuck, dude. I think... Oh my God! Please don't tell me they're gonna do another fucking reboot of Spider-Man.
One step forward, 2 steps back,
God,
Scotty.
Here we go, another reboot.
And we know it's gonna be a fucking. I'm hoping it's not a fucking reboot, dude.
It's gonna be a reboot. They can't just take over the character. Marvel's never gonna let them use Tom Holland. They've got him on contract. So how are they gonna? They have no choice but to reboot this
Let's see
again.
if there's any more details about that.
Yeah, let me scroll down a little bit.
They might renegotiate.
Here's a quote from them. We're disappointed but respected Disney's decision to not have him continue as a lead producer on our next live action. Oh, so they're just saying they're going forward. We hope this might change in the future, but understand that the many responsibilities that Disney has been given, including all their newly added Marvel properties, do not allow time for him to work on the IP that they do not own. Kevin is terrific. So they're planning on plugging forward with Spider-Man films.
Good.
We can tell from that. I don't think that they're going to be able to use the same fucking shit that Marvel made. I don't know. Because, look, that Spider-Man character is woven into movies that aren't Spider-Man movies. So do they own in perpetuity a chunk of that?
Disney just needs to come up with a fucking way to get the Spider-Man franchise entirely under Marvel. They
need to just bite the bullet and use the fact that they're this giant fucking company to just eat it and buy the property at a loss or whatever and make it up with just endless fucking Tom Holland movies.
I mean, the fucking last one just made $1.1 billion. I mean, the demand for Spider-Man ain't fucking going anywhere. If they had to pay $2 million for Spider-Man, or not $2 million, $2 billion or $3 billion just to get Spider-Man, it'd be worth it in the long run.
Did Disney have a piece of that Spider-Verse shit?
They must have, dude. Because
that movie was kick fucking ass, by the way.
Disney and Sony own the rights, just collectively all the rights to Spider-Man. Like it just said there that Marvel or Disney owns the merchandising rights to Spider-Man. So it's like it's all mixed up right now. It's like
it's strange.
Disney just needs to own it. It's probably
isn't it just the movie rights?
Sony owns the movie rights,
right?
Yeah,
and they leased it basically to Disney to do this Spider-Man character, and Disney doesn't want to abide by the contract anymore and was like, "Fuck you," and now they're fine. So yeah, what you're gonna get out of this is a reboot.
Probably
either a reboot or a continue. I mean, I could see them getting trying to do an older Spider-Man, with Tobey Maguire coming back.
Don't even fucking say that.
Handing over the reins to the next.
God, dude.
Yeah, handing over the reins to the next Spider-Man, a little punk kid. Maybe.
I'm sorry, but I haven't seen all the superhero movies. That was acceptable then, but just the way that they've gotten way better cast over the last fucking 20 years. Like Tobey Maguire now just almost feels like a total miscast in that role.
Oh yeah, those. I mean, there's a lot of defenders, especially I think of the first one. The first one is watchable. I'll give it that. Yeah. But the Green Goblin bullshit was just so disappointing to anybody that knew anything about the fucking character. It was just awful.
A total disgrace.
I think we've looked before. I won't pull it up again at the.
Dr. Octopus.
You remember the practical mask they made for it?
Oh yeah, dude, that was fucking cool, dude. But Dr. Octopus was actually a good villain. But yeah, the movie overall, that's not great. It's not horrible. Spider-Man 3 is abysmal.
They got worse as they went on, and Tobey Maguire was more out of place as they went on.
Well, he wanted more money each time too, so it became about the fucking paycheck as opposed to actually wanting to do the character justice.
But of course,
I mean, look, Robert Downey Jr. made a ton of money doing Iron Man, but I don't really felt like I mean, from the fucking first movie he was in, Iron Man, to the last one, Infinity War, all solid performances.
Yep, agreed. I really liked the first Spider-Man movie, Homecoming, I think it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. So, I mean, I don't know. It had its problems, but
I still haven't seen any of those Spider-Man movies
you should
yet.
at least watch the first couple of the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, you gotta give it a chance,
standalones.
maybe.
They're pretty good. Before you go anywhere, if you aren't already coming to our meetup Friday, September 6th, 2019 at the Howling Wolf in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Nolan, boy.
Oh my boy.
Then what the fuck are you doing with your life? You have two options. You got a $20 option and a $60 option. $60 option is VIP. That means you get to come in like an hour early and chill with us in a smaller group setting.
Free booze.
Wait, oh yeah, that's right. Free booze.
For the VIPs, there's
That's
free
true.
booze,
I mean, how do you turn that down?
free draft beer, free well liquor.
Gee willikers, Paul, I just turned 18. I surely can't go, right?
No, absolutely you can go. This is an 18 plus meetup, a highly requested feature that I don't know that we've done many.
Not
18
many.
plus. We've done a couple. So if you're under the drinking age, you just got to get your I'm a Young Kid band on your fucking wrist, and you can come right in if you're 18 plus. Come on in. You can watch everybody else get drunk and hang out with a bunch of neckbeards. And lest we forget, this is the time to become a patron. There's more shit on your plate as a Pessimist Productions patron now than at any time in the history. We're about to breach 5,000 patrons, which means
But Paul, I am a serial killer and murder people for a living.
we don't
Can
give
I
a
still
shit.
become a patron?
Absolutely. Your fucking money spends just as well as anybody else's.
Wow.
I'm so hungry for content, Paul. Is there lots of content to feast upon?
Well, listen, you could go to the other meager offerings on your plate and on Patreon, or you could come to the fucking buffet, the most fucking content you're going to get from $5 out of any independent creator. And if you want to call me wrong, I challenge you to show me somebody that works harder than these neckbeards to fill your plate with juicy, heaping piles of steaming, cheesy, gravy-covered content week in and week out. In fact, I'll tell you, if we get one complaint from our patrons, it's no more. I can't eat another bite of steaming, delicious content. But you know what? We funnel it down their fucking throats anyway.
Oh, no, please, Paul, not more content. Oh,
You eat it, bitch! Come see us in September 6th at the Howlin' Wolf. Link down in the description. Become a patron right now. Link down in the description for that too. Quit living a double life, okay? Come out to your families and friends as a true fucking fan of the best podcast that anyone has ever conceived of, let alone filmed and delivered on a fucking consistent schedule.